I'm heading into my office and I gotta do some printing because right now I'm working on a really cool project with my creative partner. You've met him before. I haven't introduced you to him as my creative partner. His name's Sean. There's a link up above somewhere to one of the videos we did together. So I'm gonna go do some printing and then I'm gonna tell you a bit more about it once I leave the office. Okay, so this project that we've been working on is a feature film screenplay, and all I can really say at this point is that it's a horror comedy. I'll be telling more about it as things progress, but at this point, we've been working on this thing for about 2 years, and nobody's seen it yet. So what we're planning to do this weekend is have a table read. And so what that means is we've invited our friends who are creatives, who work in the film industry, people I've gone to film school with or made work with. We're gonna get together and read this thing and get some notes.
And it's fucking awesome.
All right, you in? We're in.
I'm in.
Okay, so this is Sean. You might remember him from Mocksplaining Birds. Sean and I have been working together for about 4 years or so. At least we've known each other since high school, or from back in the day. Sean, how long have we been working on this current project?
Probably at least 2 years, I would say, maybe longer.
Yeah, I think 2 years we've been solidly in the writing phase. 4 years ago is when I think we came up with the idea.
It was, I think, right after we finished Lemons. Because do you remember when Lemons was done?
I think it was about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I
so
think-
maybe it has been 4 years.
I think, yeah, and Lemons I'm going to be posting on this channel soon. So about 2 years ago, we started going through the actual process of brainstorming the idea, developing it, getting everything together and organizing it. And then Sean's been, like actively writing this project and we've been going back and forth. Can you tell me a bit about, like what this last 2 years has been like from a writing standpoint?
A lot of writing, thinking. A lot of self-doubt and and then a lot
To be
of
expected.
and then a lot followed by a lot of being like, this is great, and then more self-doubt.
And so, like, what about the fact that, so we've been working on this for 2 years. Only him and I have seen this.
This is really uncomfortable. There we go. Get chill.
Yeah.
Chill out. Sit around in the dirt.
We've been working on this for 2 years, but only both of us have seen this. What has it felt like, working kind of like in that space?
That has definitely been a challenge, especially because we're not going to get into the details of the project, but there's a lot of kind of far out elements and a lot of craziness and moving parts to the story, and it's sometimes you kind of think to yourself and like, is this just insane? Like, are people gonna like read this or experience it and be like, this was created by a madman? And so that was a bit of the fear.
That's fair.
That was a bit of the fear, and I mean also too, because it's pretty comedic, just people will not find it funny as well. So that's always a worry. But I try to follow the kind of guideline is like you sort of try to make yourself laugh. So you write what you think is funny, and then hopefully other people will think it's funny too. Yeah.
And so, like, I remember you talking, like, we've been talking about this for weeks with the table read about how, like, we've been in this vacuum, right?
Yes.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard to, like, understand if what we're writing is good,
Yeah.
or if what is happening makes sense at all, or where the holes are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, we've had the table read, and do you want to tell us a bit about like what the reaction has been?
Yeah. The table read was very, very helpful. It went a lot better, despite that it was like kind of a disaster at first, because we ended up having to get my friend to do all the female voices, so she was kind of top notch.
Yeah, as a note, we had like a bunch of people kind of cancel on us last minute, and so
Yeah.
that kind of left, like one person either having to play all the characters or having to, like have a bunch of characters split up and be covered by people who, might not. It might be odd hearing those voices that way.
Yeah, we needed, one or two more kind of female voices for the cast. I think I messaged probably like every female friend and acquaintance I know in Vancouver, and everyone was busy because it was like
It was last minute
the
on like the Sunday before Halloween.
Yeah, the Sunday like after the sort of Halloween Saturday party night.
Yeah, in everyone's defense, we picked the most hungover day of the year.
Yeah, so but we were kind of humming and hawing whether we want to postpone it or whatever, and then kind of right at the last minute, we're just I just asked my friend Uni, who was for sure going to come and do one of the voices. I'm like, would you be willing to do like all the female parts? She's like, sure, and she did a great job, like completely killed it.
She was awesome.
And so yeah, we just went ahead with it, and it was it ended up being actually really great because it was like very small group, so friends of ours that we really trusted and wanted their feedback. So it was kind of nice to have just a little small group.
One other thing I was kind of thinking you'd mention was I forgot to bring the actual scripts.
Oh,
I think in
yeah.
the chaos of like, are we going to cancel this thing? Or are we going to keep going? I got, we're like, hey, let's keep going. And I like grabbed everything that I was going to bring except the scripts. So I had to like run back across town to get them. So note to self, or note to everyone else, remember your scripts.
Yes.
The only thing you actually need.
Yeah, Otherwise, it would have been like an improv show, loosely based on our script.
That could have been fun too. Okay, so if you're in the middle of writing a script, maybe say you've gone through a draft or two, and you think it's in a great spot, this is a great chance to like set up a table read, get a bunch of people together that you trust, who understand, like the genre, the tone of what you're going for.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, but don't know, like what your script is necessarily. Get them together and start doing a table read. And so the benefit of the table read is really to find out, like getting opinions from your friends is like, it's good, but really the value is seeing how people react to it, where people laugh when they should, or people laugh where they don't, or people don't laugh when they maybe should be doing that. And then seeing, where people get confused. And, people will show you holes, right? You will think your script is solid and tight, and people will be like, why is this happening? That doesn't make any sense, right? And so, yeah, the value of the table read isn't necessarily in the opinions you get after, the notes you get after, but it's actually in, seeing how it flows and seeing how,
I think also I found what was interesting is that I found a lot of the comments were actually stuff that me and Ben had already talked about, so it kind of like reaffirmed that we had already thought this aspect of the script needs work, and when everyone else kind of says that too, well, it's like, well, that needs work, right? Yeah. And so it just reconfirms. You're like, okay, yeah, like kind of, if everybody's saying the same thing, like, for sure that that's something that you need to work on. So so that I found that was kind of helpful as well.
Absolutely. And anytime you get notes, like one-off outliers, like you can take or leave those notes. But if you're getting the same note from a lot of people, there's an issue there. And so that's definitely something to look at. Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to organize a table read, one of the key things to remember is that this is an event for the people participating, right? This is a fun, this is like a fun thing, right? So we set it up at Sean's place. We had drinks. We made it comfortable for people. And basically the whole point of it for, as like readers or the audience or like the people who are coming to help us out is like, we're giving them an entertaining night, right? And so that's kind of the value for them to come out, not just to support us, but to have a good time as well.
Totally. And I mean, it is great if you can get, really excellent actors to do the parts, but you can get your friends to do it too. It's not really about a crazy performance, even though that is great if you can make that happen, but it's more about just hearing it. And
yeah, it doesn't have to be like well acted. You just need to be able to hear it. And then I think with that, one of the like really valuable things that we did with this table read is we recorded it. And we recorded it with 2 devices. So we had, a backup in case one went wrong or, for whatever reason. And like that's really been valuable since the table read, because we've gone back to those recordings and we're listening to them over and over again, and we're seeing the script from a new angle, right? And now it's not, when you're reading a script, like there's a process involved with the reading and like the physical, tangible, like mechanical like efforts you have to make to like read the script. But when you're listening to it over and over again, you can see things in a different way. You see where things go wrong, you see where things go right, and you can also start to picture how things can be done later. Yeah. I found that very valuable.
Even after trimming like 15 pages of action from the script, is even hearing it and having to read all the action, you're like, this is way too much. So writers, trim that action. Keep it tight.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add that would help other people do a table read?
This is maybe just another comment of what we were saying before. Listening back to it, one of the things I really found helpful and enjoyed is we took a break. We like kind of cut it up into quarters and took a break, after each nice. 20 pages or whatever. And we recorded all the discussion in those times too. And so you're hearing like people's comments about the script like almost as it's going, and you're like, I thought that was pretty neat as well. Like so you're getting notes like right in real time, like on the spot. Absolutely. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. I would love to share this stuff with you guys. I think once we actually like get funding, make the film, I think
might be something we're
having the table read might be something fun to have like as an extra feature. We're not talking about what the project is at this point. I think for you guys as audience, that isn't really as valuable to you. Like the whole point of this is to give you a sense of like why you should do a table read, how to do it successfully. I will be talking more about this project as things progress. So if you want to follow along with like our journey and like bringing this to life, hit the subscribe button. If this video has been helpful to you,
do it.
Yeah,
do it now.
Give it a thumbs up. And if you have any other questions,
come on, do it. Do it. Hit the subscribe. Do it now.
Yeah. And if you want to hear him do more Arnie impressions, leave a comment below.
Come on, do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Hit the subscribe. Do it now.
And yeah, we'll maybe just do a video. But no, if you have any other questions about filmmaking or screenwriting, leave a question in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Come on, do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Hit the subscribe. Do it now.